So it was a decision I made, and I'm happy about it to this day. So I guess that I don't mean to preach to you. That's my
No, well, you got to look at people's lives. You chose quality of life. What made you happy as a human being? You know, it's not for me to judge or anybody else to judge what makes another human being happy, unless they're harming somebody else in that happiness. That's the way I look at the world.
yeah.
Live your life, don't hurt anybody, and be happy. If somebody wants to judge you, well, that's their problem. Live your life. But the money, I think, is a part of it, but I think is the other part of it culture. And how are the DMV people at the front desks dealt with? Because honestly, a lot of these people that work for the government that I've seen are power-hungry tyrants. And if they're put into a position of power over other people and they treat other people like crap, those people are going to quit that job as opposed to staying. You know, these people are really cool to work with. Instead, they quit the job because they're dealing with a power-hungry tyrant. And I find a lot of people get into government because they can exercise some power. And so I think government fundamentally has a problem in how it hires and retains people. And I think in law enforcement, one of the biggest issues is the unions. And I think that's driven away a lot of the accountability in government or the public unions. Again, think things that could possibly be changed around that would take a whole lot of work if you could get the votes done.
Yeah, I hear you.
So I think it's money and culture, and I think you can change both of them. And I appreciate what you did in the last cycle, where all the state troopers and DPS, all those guys got raises. I think that was great. They needed it.
We gave them a raise, and then they lost a lot of that, unfortunately, for their retirement pay, which is, we just can't afford to pay their full retirement. So they have to contribute 50% also of their pay. So whenever you look at a raise, it's only 50% of what it really is, I guess, is the easiest way. That's the simplest math.
Yeah, but at least you did something. You got as much as you could.
We tried.
Yeah,
and that's all you can do in any, whether it's in your business, government, my business, medical field, is to try. And you're right there. You've got to try. Sometimes you win. What's the old saying? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes the game's called on rain or something like that, I think it is.
Agreed, 100%.
So I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. So, getting back to your issues, though, at hand, because I've got to, I had to do an award ceremony today to recognize women in Nevada, or in Carson City, I should say, for their leadership, etc. So I'm back at the House/office, and I've got to go through my legislative emails and try to get a little work done. So what is your key issue? Is it transparency in government, or you're saying education?
Personal accountability. Accountability. I think that's the best way to put it, because here's how I look at it. You've been in government most of your life. I've run a small business. So for most of your life, because you came in after the Supreme Court created a qualified immunity, and you know qualified immunity doesn't exist in Nevada anymore, right? God bless our Supreme Court, Mack versus Williams.
Yeah.
I think that may be a start to help create accountability. But in my business, if I screw up, I take money out of my wallet, and I hurt. If I screw up with the government, they come in and they write me a citation. And I take money out of my wallet and I hurt. When the government gives me a citation, I pay my attorney whether I'm right or wrong. And I hurt. Now, when the government does these things to me and they're wrong, what accountability do they have for these employees that did these things to me?
Well, very often I've seen them fired.
No. If again, yeah. I'll send you the link to my YouTube channel. I've got a lot of videos.
Okay.
And you can see, and I'll share some more documents with you. So as I said, I was illegally arrested for recording. Now, I was outside of Northern Nevada Correctional Center. No, not ooh. Now think about this. You were involved in passing this. NRS 171-1233 gave me a right to film law enforcement.
Yes.
Right? So I'm at a law enforcement facility on the public road, far outside of their building, far outside of any restricted area. I was in front of their sign just doing an intro in front of the sign on the corner there. You know that? You know what I'm talking about. Before you turn down the road to go down to the license plate factory, and they've got an auto repair shop and other businesses that are open to the public, right?
Right. Well,
they've got a licensed automobile repair shop that's open to the public down that road.
I did not know that it was open to the public.
I didn't know that either until I deposed Deputy Director Cuenga, because he's got a lawsuit on him right now. But yeah, they've got a publicly available auto repair service that you can come and drop your car off at and get repaired and pay them money. So I was walking down this road because at the entrance of this road, where I was filming just their sign, a lieutenant came down the road and stopped me, blocking my path of travel in my vehicle. He didn't have any emergency lights, any sirens, no markings. He just drove across the double lines and stopped my path of travel in my vehicle. And then he proceeded to, there's a whole video, you can watch it. But anyways, I've got a lot of examples where government employees believe because they work for the government, whatever they do is okay.